Okay, I'll do it 3 times. From Vreeland in the Netherlands, between the lakes, below sea level, close to the river the Vecht. And I presume Annelies will bring the Vecht in more closely soon. Happy to see you all, and I'm just really curious to hear some of your experiences of this last week, and how we're doing, and also what can support us. And welcome, Dineke.
Hello.
We just did a little
Sorry.
No problem. Just settle in whilst we do a little circle of checking in of how we're doing,
Right.
and then you can go last if you want, so that you can settle in first. Our practice is that we also name where we're calling in from, so that we can really ground ourselves in the place. And also we're just really, we call ourselves a Bridging Continents weekly call, because we really are feeling that we are bridging the continents, and that is about the place where we are in the world on Mother Earth. So whoever wants to go next goes next. We do it popcorn style, Dineke.
Oh, this is Hatsina calling in from Newcastle, South Africa, and just finding a moment to be centered and balanced in between all the busyness.
Kamala checking in from Kefalonia in Greece, and I've been thinking about purpose a lot this week.
Message Robert calling in from Uganda. I've been thinking about how I can bring hope to hopeless, those people without hope in my community.
Kara Stonehouse calling in from Tivier in beautiful France. And I've been really thinking about expanding the message and expanding abundance to and through the field, and how we can really amplify the work that we're doing into the world.
I'm Dineke. I live in the Netherlands, near the sea. And a few years ago, I was at a Celtic site nearby, and I traveled to Germany because the sites were communicating to a friend. And I'm a little bit excited about that. because there's so much happening, and we collaborated for a few years, and I've been looking into my ancestors as I've done a lot of ancestral healing, so that is not the part that I encountered, but it apparently was also ancestral fields for my ancestors in Germany. I worked together with someone who was actually starting a call which was called Bridging Continents. And I was wondering if he would be here, and he's not. But our connection to the places where we live is so important to me, as I feel so much happening, and the lands are, and nature and the wisdom of the lands is so much talking to us at this moment. So I'm so much looking forward to seeing you. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for hosting, and to see where we are and what we are noticing at this moment. Yeah. Thank you.
Tineke. And can you name the place, literally the place where you are?
I am in Amsterdam
Oh, you're in Amsterdam.
at this moment. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. Well, welcome. Thank you for sharing. We'll just continue the check-in round, and then we'll see what we can further respond to each other. Welcome, Anja. Juliet, would you like to? Oh, Amelie, perhaps. Yes.
I'm Amelie, living in Amsterdam. I think I know you, Dieneke.
That would be great.
And next to water canal, I'm looking upon the water. And I am very digesting all what has happened in the I even forgot the word.
Symposium.
In the symposium, worldwide symposium of some days ago. It's a long thread to digest all these connections. Yes.
Yes, the golden ribbon that you even found on your front step.
Yes.
The golden.
What a sign was this?
Juliet from County Cork. And also, thank you, Danica. Lovely to meet you and to hear your story. And yeah, just trying to, I suppose, assimilate, just like Hasina, you said, trying to find the balance. So much is happening, and so full of the symposium that was so rich and beautiful. And as Robert pointed out, so much suffering and the hopelessness and purpose, and how does it, how can I be of best service, I guess, just with this incredible, extraordinary moments on planet Earth.
I'm Brian from Krakow, Poland. I lost internet, so I'm sorry I didn't hear those who were checking in. I'm bridging between Poland and the United States as we're moving back. And I just want to put in a very positive last night for our Valentine's Day, we watched One Love, the Bob Marley movie. And I just want to share one element at the very end. A person who came and shot him came back as a much older person, and he was asking for forgiveness. And Bob Marley said, I hold no vengeance against you. I don't have that in my heart. But you have to do the healing and forgiveness within you. And I felt that was very powerful. It's a beautiful peace message. Okay, thank you.
Anja, you can check in if you wish.
Yeah, thank you. Good day to you, wherever you are. I had a few days beautiful, and I'm still landing in a retreat center, which is dedicated to, the spiritual practice of yoga. So I had a beautiful temple space there, and practice also for my body. And waking up every day at 4 o'clock and starting with sacred fire. And in the Vedic tradition, I brought in what I have to carry the fire and to carry the ashes and to move on to be peaceful in starting my day. And coming back and driving with the car, I realized, listening to the radio, that in the real world, it's slightly different to be a bridge, to be that bridge between the space where I feel at home, and then really be at home listening to what is happening in the United States, how Germany is reacting on that, talking about buying weapons to be prepared for a war, which we all don't want, and things like that. So it really confused me getting home from there, and keeping that space in me every day, just starting to create peace within myself and stay in that and be the bridge, and coming together with others to become a wider bridge. So I think it's the bridge I'm evolving to be every day.
May I just add something probably important, very personal from me? What's big, very big right now is the fact that my body has been so extraordinarily battered, emptied, whatever. And so trying to reconcile all the thoughts and all I want to do, and having total trust and faith that this body that can't do very much anymore, which always used to be so strong and so vibrant and so able, and just being trusting completely that I can know at this point right now, I have to respect just exactly what the body's allowing me to do. And that's also been a very difficult one, without the energy and the strength and things that I'm used to, and wanting to take on all these things and then just going, I can't. So it's a very big personal thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Juliet. Thank you. Thank you. So for Dineke, I just like to say that we do emergent conversations, as I call them. So we just check in, and then we see what comes out of what we would like to speak to, and try and deeply listen to each other, and also feel at home, that anything can come up and be shared. And given that Roberts is here, it's not always easy for Roberts to join us from Uganda. And also your question, Robert, how can you give hope to the hopelessness and the large stream of refugees that is coming again towards you? I would love to give you some space, ask you to share with us something in perhaps in a way, how can we support you to stay hopeful within, and to be able to be strengthened by our love and our light and our listening to you, so that you can be doing what you want to be doing in your own context. So that would be my invitation for now. So if you feel like it, you can speak now and share and ask for something, or be silent, and we can send you love and light, which we have also done a lot with Juliet in her when she was so sick. Or you can come in later, whatever serves you in this moment.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. First of all, I have been thinking of how I can bring hope to people without hope for many years. And I came to think that if I can start a non-profit to help these people, it is going to help. And I also went ahead to start joining, getting virtual friends like you. But it has come to my mind, if the aspects are not balancing, these people, they are going to remain hopeless, even if we show them a welcoming heart. The aspects, what I mean spiritually, physically, mentally, economically, those things, if we can help them to balance those aspects. So, and I'm just excited, very annoyed to find big countries, instead of discussing how they can bring peace, they are discussing how they can bring wars. Take, for example, big countries. Now they are funding the wars, funding the manufacturing of weapons, and yet people, we need to bring hope to those hopeless people. Recently, we received refugees into our countries, walking from Congo to Uganda. As you know, in Eastern DRC, there is a battle where those of M23, they want to take over the government, and the government is using much force to fight them, raiding into those residents, those voiceless people, women, children, go away from their residence to come and seek refugees. And I just imagine, if you can go in a settlement, you see the life of a refugee staying in, you feel really very touched, without basic needs, without, now just suppose now where you are, you walk in the morning and you find you need to go away, and where you are going, you don't know where you are going, you don't have a house, you don't have anything to start on. What will you happen onto your body when you are in new place? That's what's happening here in Uganda. So first, I want to invite you over in your region to, in a silent, in 1 minute, we pray for those refugees who are moving away from their home countries to another countries. In 1 minute, I think, Anna Maria, you will guide us in that 1 minute silent. In our different region, we pray for these people.
Yes. Okay. Thank you and welcome, Annelies. We've just invited Robert to share with us what can support him in what he's doing there. So let's pray for, as Robert is asking, for the refugees in his area, and send also you strength, Robert, if that's okay for you, that we send you some strength to be able to hold the space. So let's take a minute, and then I'll ring the bell to start, and then after a minute, so that we can really support you in your great work that you're doing.
Thank you very much for your prayers. Thank you.
You're welcome, Robert, and may you find the strength within and the strength around you to be that bridge that you want to be.
I'd like to suggest something.
Sure. What do you want to check into?
Yes. Okay. I'm Annelies. I'm coming from the Netherlands, Vreeland, close to the river, the Vecht. It's quiet here. My heart is having some kind of, beautiful turmoils. It's based in love, but there's also a lot of letting go and also a lot of seeing truth for what it is. And I'm very grateful for that. It's all well and in divine order. But it's also, demanding. Check. Yes, I just wanted to bring in for Robert that we might consider just for a very short time to bring in the power of 8 in our sessions, as long as people are having no roof over their heads, so that we can imagine that they are having roots, that they do not being on the walk, but that they have places where they have nourishment, feeding, and that they can start living from their own wish and freedom again, building from wholeness. And it can be in a minute, and it's just an offering for us to make it a practice within our weekly gathering, as long as, maybe 4 weeks or something to begin with. And it can be very short, but I think it can be very powerful as well in this group. So this is the invite, and this is also the offering. And if we want to do that, I hear that. And if it's not, it's also fine. Then we pray. We will pray anyway, Robert.
So if I get it right, you're offering that in our weekly calls, we dedicate a minute intentionally to support through, and you could lead us in that, Annelies. Yeah. Any objections? Shall we just try it out? We do it. If Robert wants it, Juliet.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I would just ask maybe if Robert could be the one who crafts exactly what he feels would be the most helpful, and maybe Annelies, you could help him to put it into the words that would fit into the amount of space, so that it's not too long and drawn out, but make it very concise. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, please, Robert, continue. I was offering just a sentence where we work with, and with this sentence, everything is in it. And it's about the most powerful vision that we see how the people are living at the moment, energized, in health, with a roof over their head, and with enough supplies to live a whole life. But
sorry, may I just say also, in the Power of 8 groups I've been in, it takes quite a while to craft that sentence. And I would suggest maybe this isn't the time and place right now, but if there was an email back and forth between you two until Annelies, you felt that it was, you and Robert felt it was right, that maybe you could bring it to us next week. I don't know how others feel.
Yes, the right words, they matter a lot.
Yes, I agree, and I appreciate Annelies for this a good suggestion, and I will be able to work with Annelies to see that we can come up with something.
wonderful. I will connect with you through a private message, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, maybe I can share a parallel synchronicity during the symposium I had with Annelies, I was going home from being at a friend's house, and in the train, I was still on the internet connected with the symposium, seeing you all. And then I was staring out of the window, and suddenly I saw many, many people with luggage on their shoulders, walking, Gaza, Uganda. And it came to me, thousands and thousands, and I was walking with them for a while, sitting in the train. And then I looked at the screen, and there were like 800 people at that moment connected in the symposium. And I bow for the feeling that all these 800 people connecting had a home and a screen and internet and were safe. And that connection I felt so strongly, and me going home. And that was the moment when I, in front of my home, find this ribbon. And I bow for my house. And I think the first step is when we make this 1 minute vision, what you suggest, Annelies, is to so deeply be grateful also now that we are all sitting in a house, in a place where we had breakfast, where we are warm. It starts from that point. And that is the sign from the ribbon for me.
Thank you. I just want to check if Robert, I don't know if Robert can read the chat. So Anja, maybe you want to voice what you've written in the chat for Robert.
Yeah, it's sometimes I'm just called to sit and see. So this time I was just called to sit and see. And what I saw is that the nature beings I'm working with just offered their service. And I'm allowed to work with the dew tree and the energy of the dew tree, which we had in the old days here in Europe all over, to sit under the tree and talk. And the dew tree offered their service for you to sit under the tree and talk. So this is the energy which instantly came, and I'm just offering that, and it's already there. So the energy is already there. Like an umbrella, you can sit under and lean on. No weapons, no arms, and a place to talk.
Thank you. Okay. So maybe we can transition a bit. Go ahead, Camilla.
Where's Robert?
He's still there, but he's not got his screen on. Did you want to say something?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm still here.
yes, you are.
We lost Brian because of his connection with the internet. And I like to say hi to Dineke because I have not met her before and I was a little late. Excuse me for that. But I hope to meet you next time a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, maybe Dineke, can you share how you have arrived here in this place? Were you in the symposium, or do you know somebody else, or?
I'm actually following Ben Unity's week for I think 7 or 8 years since the beginning,
Great. Okay, good.
but I'm not so much a joiner. Well, I don't like to sit behind the screen. That's basically it. But I just love to see everything that is evolving and the changes that have been made, especially yeah, seeing the earth as a sacred site and these steps, because that is, I think, the main issue that we all agree upon. So I've been following little things on the side, and I know the Hague Center from quite a few years ago, and I was really interested because I've had sort of similar training, and yeah, I get Ben's announcements in my mailbox, and I've been part of quite a large group of evolutionaries, which was very interesting. I had which was Barbara Marx Hubbard's vision, actually, and when I met her, I am very practical, and I've been working with nature for so long. I made a very practical, spiritual, beautiful, even if I say it myself, community project in a neighborhood that can be done anywhere in the world, which is sort of transitioning towards peace and communication, interspecies communications as well. So with the animals and everything. And I really love this to be spread around the world, so to say, so everybody can, well, if take what resonates for them. And it's my invitation has always been to be at home and start there, and in our gardens and our families and communities and our location, instead of being in our head, with where the evolutionaries go very often. So when I was seeing Bridging Continents, this was actually, I felt an invitation to actually do that. And I've been sort of creating a group of people on different locations in the world that are close to sacred sites or are seen themselves as guardians, stewards of these sacred sites, harnessing these energies and communicating from them, because I feel these locations are so important to make us understand, well, let's call it natural law, sacred economy. It's all, in my perspective, but this is a bit dangerous to say to some, it's all about free energy, and it's all available to us if we learn how to read the sign and possibly help each other to align with these energies and understand them, so they can be translated through ourselves in our uniqueness, in how we feel what can be done and wishes to be done as a step towards the future. And my experience is that when we work like this, then people immediately start to act from their expertise and their, well, we can even call it soul purpose, but definitely aligned. And then so much starts to happen. And that is a message of hope, to refer to Robert, that is a message of hope. So I feel that is very strong for me too, the message of hope, and seeing and working with these energies of creation. And I don't know, maybe it becomes a little bit too abstract, but it's very physical to me. And I believe there's so much healing possible without, assumptions, let's say it that way. I mean, that is the prayers and what we're doing here. And I really invite to reinforce that within each other and add that to the call, so there can also be a communication of these healing energies that are available to us all. I'm not sure, Anne-Marie, if that is part of what you envision. Of course, the personal part is, the individual part is very important, but I don't know. It opens up a whole box, your question. Let's keep it where it is now. So that's the heart space, and this heart space is just immediately communicating on so many levels. Yeah. So this is, I don't know, it's like, I guess I'm at the right place at the right time. I think that's why I'm here. Yeah.
Well, thank you for acting upon that impulse and for joining us. Yes. And all natural laws and the architecture of the cosmic context, the energetic, the social, and the material is in our view, and that's what we're offering here as a space where we can come together and practice and share and support each other, support ourselves, knowing that each and every one of us are part of that larger whole. Yeah. So welcome. There is also a WhatsApp group. If you wish, you can also join that, in which we kind of like more, the big things we just join in the Unity Earth WhatsApp groups, but the things that are also coming out of our own call here, as we are a little bit of a smaller group, we felt that was working well, and you're welcome also to join there. Also, just to be present to read or to act or whatever. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Camilla, I saw you put your hand up. I asked if you want to say something. Feel free, and if I need to give you a little bit of space to say something, then that can also happen.
It's all good. I just needed to take a minute to remind myself that everything happens within the context of the divine flow. And it was clear that what I thought I was supposed to have said earlier is not relevant for where this conversation needs to be right now, because I am aware of the time constraints that we have today for other things that are happening later. And yeah, I'd rather not take us on a tangent away from what's happening now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that consciousness at 11:11 on my side as well. So is there anything that we would like to welcome? Susan?
Hi, everybody.
Do you want to do a quick check-in, or do you first want to settle in?
Settle in.
Settle in first, okay. Juliet, please go ahead.
Right. I just wanted to maybe hear a bit from you, Anne-Marie, how it was in the symposium, your experiences.
Well, I was wanting to hear from all of you. Yes, it was really, first of all, let me just say, I really felt the support. I think, Hasina, we really felt that support, didn't we? We were it was lovely to see your faces also, because I usually put everything on gallery view and not just seeing who's speaking. And also to get these little messages. It's really heartwarming. I was saying last night when we're designing the next two sessions on Sunday, and there were some things that I really that opvalt. I just can't think of the English word at the moment. But anyway, that I'll point out. We were the second session, not day. It felt like days. Actually, it did feel like days. But and yes, indeed, Robert, it was not so time friendly always. It was complicated to find the right timings for this, for the groups that were the partners that were in it. But we were the second day, second session, and we were implementation. So we were speaking about, and that had come up already. That was already there, and it had not been strategically, let's say, designed like that. It was more that they were trying to find out when what speaker could be there, and then the people that signed up for that time slot, they were all very much focused actually on implementing. So it was, let's say, by divine order. And so but it wouldn't be my normal way of designing something that when you're trying to bring it in from a big, large vision of the first session around our sacred mission to then implementation and then go out again. But I think it was actually excellent in the sense of that we were able in the engagement session to, through the voices that we heard and that session, that people immediately realized, I think, but I'm also curious to hear your experience, that we are not only speaking about the big voices, but that we were really here to see how we can put it into reality, into place in our own lives, in our place, in our larger circles. And so it gave a permission, let's say, or a perhaps confidence that we would be coming to that space. And we took it now that, okay, so what does that mean for Sunday? That's then our challenge now. How do we do that on Sunday? But that was something that I hadn't expected. And then we were challenged because the speakers took more time and we didn't have a very good time system yet in the room. Now they're working with the clock and more briefing and but in our session it was kind of like very challenging, and also there was some confusion in the beginning. Was it going to be 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours? Anyway, but we just went with it. And Hasina, you did also a great job. We just held it and we just went with it. But what I saw when people came out of the breakout rooms, and I didn't only see that in our time, but also the other sessions, they were lit up. They were coming back with so much joy and smiles and deep connections. So it felt like that it's so important to have those breakouts there. And that even if it's only 10 minutes or 50 minutes in this context and how we've set it up and the energy, that seems to be really, really important. So that's something that we're also standing for. Yeah, I guess that's the most important part. And it was amazing, of course, to know that nearly 3,000 people signed up. 700 signed up for the Zoom link, which is another step that people have to take. And I felt that so many people stayed so long, because usually you have, a lot coming in, especially if they're big speakers, but also at the end. So there was I think there's really a longing for this, and then how to see now that we continue and help encourage people to take agency. Hasina, would you like to add something to it?
Well, when you just said that, how people stayed until the end, it reminds me that was something that I noticed, especially, I think it was a Saturday, the first session on the Saturday, so that would be in session 3. And I noticed people were even staying beyond when the session was ending, and we were all just sitting there and talking. There were about 50 odd people. And that's really where the magic happens, because that means people feel home, and they also feel that they can just bring themselves, to the table and be there. So I loved that. And I think it was more than, the speakers were amazing, but it was even more than the speakers. It was the experience. It was just the feeling, you know, all of that, which it's always a wonderful feeling, but I didn't expect in so short a time that, you know, that would be there. But it was almost a deepening because it was a more concentrated kind of event.
Yes, I agree. In the breakout rooms, this was really a miracle that happened there. I was, for instance, with 5 others I never met before, and there started an old woman saying, well, I'm online, but I'm always at my home. I don't do nothing. I feel so useless. And in a few seconds, it was turned into that staying home and doing the things you do, and the devotion where she did what she was. And so in a few minutes we were in a total loving divine space together. And I also thank our group, because the technique, what I brought in to not say what is not, but to feel, to make connection first and to share. And then it was really, we loved each other totally in a few minutes. So I agree, Annemarie, this is very, very like also our group. I mean, I saw Juliet, so how is it possible with your state of your body? And then we support each other. And I really needed sometimes to see one of you to really connect. So you see how personal connection, how important this bridging is. But that could also happen with people who were in a symposium I've never met before. There was the same energy.
Great. Did you happen to write fill in one of these forms?
Not yet.
No? Okay, so I'll just
I will
just put it in the chat or something so that we can take that along with us. Because I'm in our terminology in social architecture, I would say, so what you're saying is that it came in actually a little bit below the line of, oh, I'm sad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to bring it up above the line through the love heart connection.
Yes.
An important part of our practice, of course. Yes. Great, thank you.
I just want to quickly say something. I know Emily sent me a note when we were facilitating Annemarie, and because it was running late, she was like, oh, when are you going to be on? And then afterwards it was like, I have to go to bed. And like, I mean, I thought that was the sweetest note, you know. I could just feel your support, Emily. And of course he had to go to bed. By the time I went to bed, it was like 4:45 in the morning, my time.
Yes.
Wow. I just wanted to say for feedback, I filled in all 6 forms, but I didn't really see a place where I could express something like what Amalie is saying. It was more just answering the question. And so I didn't feel I could really convey something personal, something sparking that happened. And maybe it would be good to leave a space like that. I didn't feel that it was there right now, but that might be helpful too. And I guess Sunday will be a place to do it, time to do it.
The comment around this symposium was that different people designed every session, and we didn't have a coming together and sharing how are you going to design it. There was just this kind of like trust. And so the Coherence Council was really trying to hold that and just to look at principles and how we can bring that forth, and whether the visionary voices were properly briefed and things like that. Because the rest it was just it was for us a surprise too.
It was fantastic. Many congratulations to all. It was such a gift.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
And of course, there's always There's always Ben Bowler. I must really say he's magic. He brings everything together. He sees everyone also on a personal level. This always makes my heart sing when I see how he's bringing the last voice who wants to be heard. And yes, so I want to acknowledge how amazing important that is, that he is a spider in this web.
Well, for this, in 5 minutes we have left, I like Susanne to check in. Please.
Yes. Yes. Unmute
Hey.
yourself. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, I can totally agree with this, what you just said. It was a symposium I never ever seen before. So inspiring for everybody. And I think John Raymer and Ben Bowler, with this tool G.P. Lane Jr. gave, with the sharing, the talking circles in the breakout rooms. As far as I know it, this is coming from G.P. Lane Jr. And it gives, and also John gives, he's there for, and Ben to give everybody a voice, and that they can be heard, and they can expand the intention and be involved. That's the whole thing, which I really appreciate. Otherwise, it's just like it's another thing, a different thing than. But it was amazing how open and how precious those lectures were. I was really totally inspired from that. And I've been there every session. Sometimes, in the morning, or at 4, and then at 12 o'clock. It was. Normally I don't do that, but I followed my heart because it was really interesting. I wanted to listen to everybody. It was very high, precious, really precious what they shared. Not with a snobby nose. I am, what sometimes different people, can do, or sometimes do, because they have so much influence. They lost the ground to people. I didn't feel that. And that was really surprising for me and inviting to stay and to listen.
And can you please say your name and where you are, also for Dineke, who is new in this group, to know where you are?
Oh, yeah, sure. My name is Susanne Kazak-Heusser. Nice to meet you, Dineke. I live in Switzerland, between Zurich and Aarau, in the Swiss-German part. Nice to meet you. Hi.
Good. Well, I would love to hear much more. I would also love to hear, what would you imagine that we follow up on? How would you like to go? Do you think we need to do something else, or what do you? But we promised that we would finish on time. Anja?
Just shortly, I hope you did feel a little bit of support what we did, Kara and me, and all those that were in the Safe Space of Darkness group. And I deeply feel, just to bring in shortly, not to expand that, but that we also create a little bit on keeping the fire of the sparks we created for us ourselves, that we giving that birthing process and midwifing, and also keeping everything, that we really stay on that and nourishing each other and us. So like we did, and I think that are really profound things worth to be shared and to give a word on in this whole, whatever it means and what is profound to be shared, because we quickly go here and there and share the sparks, and I think we can really sit on this fire and be nourished.
Oh yes, I feel that session was so deeply connected to the whole symposium.
Well, that's kind of a cliffhanger. We have to stop, and I'd like to hear so much more. Cara is the one that said we have to have a clear stop. She's the one that should actually be speaking. So that's a promise.
Can I share something? I mean, we see us on the harvesting on Sunday, and this is really then the point we can share and cuddle together and you know, see and talk and have more sessions, more talking circle breakout rooms, and I'm really looking for that into that. I think what we did every Thursday here, it's amazing. We did that. I don't know, almost 1 year now.
No,
Yeah.
longer.
All right.
For me since 2020, but the group changed. But yeah, but yes, you have been here very, yeah, all of you show up. So, and so it's heartwarming. It's really heartwarming. Yeah.
Every time we share and Dineke and we hold each other space, and if somebody here needs something, we send energy or pray. Just let you know we deepen our friendship here, and I really like that.
Good.
So can we end also in connection with Brian and Lisa with his
Yes, please.
flute and end the session in time?
Yes, do that.
Honoring Cara's and Anja's wish. See you next week.
Please change the audio because otherwise we do not hear you.
How do you do that? I don't know.
At the top of at the left-hand side, you have a.
You see original sound for musicians. Okay.
Speaker gallery.
Otherwise, you go to next to the microphone, click on the arrow, go to advanced audio settings, and there's.
It's too complicated now. I'm sorry, you don't hear.
Yes, we hear.
We hear that.
Thank you. Okay, well, big hug. Next week we'll also look at the Power of 8 for Robert and his team. And Dineke, if you connect with Hasina, you can get the link, or Hasina, you can drop the WhatsApp link here. See you next time. Bye.
Cara, could you give us the link where the next meeting is going to be on now, so we can?
It's in a email.
Oh,
just
could you just put it in the chat? Then I could just click on that now.
put it in. Do you have WhatsApp on your computer?
I'll send it to my computer.
Okay.
Dineke, I put my number in the chat. If you can just copy it and reach me via WhatsApp, because I don't have your number, and I'll get you into the group.
Oh, well, I think I'll just do it. If Cara's got it, I'll just.
Just 1 minute before closing then, because I have to write it down, okay?
Okay.
That's not for you, that's for Dineke.
Oh, Cara, thank you, Cara. You've got it down there. Thanks a million. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. Sorry.
No worries. I'm going to get a coffee for my next session. Lovely to see you all, and thank you.
So we can just go across now to that, yeah?
Yes.
So Hasina,
You just want to go.
Oh,
Right.
I missed.
this Hasina,
Yes,
what
yes.
country do you live?
I'm South Africa, so it's 0027 or whatever your.
Okay. Okay. And can you send me an email about this group?
Yes, send me your email. Just post your email address in there.
I did.
Oh,
I don't know if we. Oh wait.
No. Or just give it to me. Just give it to me if it's simple enough.
Well, my name is always a problem. I'll send it now to the chat. Do you see it?
Oh, yes, I do. Give me 1 second. I'm going to copy it.
Right.
Okay, great.
Thank
Got
you.
it. Okay, hi.
Bye-bye.
Bye.